Right, in a couple of seconds, we are going to be talking to Mary Bomela. In fact, we're going to do it right now. Now, who is Mary Bomela? Well, she has a BCom Honours CA from SA, an MBA as well, serves as the Chief CEO of Mineworkers Investment Company. Mary's responsible for the investment strategy and recommending investment decisions at MIC. Commonly called MIC. Mary Bomela, welcome to Chai FM.
Thank you, Stevie.
Where did you study?
I did my undergrad at the University of Port Elizabeth. I think it's now called the NNMU, Nelson Mandela University.
And your MBA?
At Gibbs.
Nice place to do it. Very, very good place. Now, I mean, when you did these degrees, did you have any idea what you wanted to do?
Yes, I think, from a very young age, I was very clear about, I always said I wanted to be a businesswoman. That's what I said when I was a younger girl. And so everything I've done has been in that line of running a business, hopefully one day. So when I was studying, it was in the financial space, and I had to make sure that I equipped myself with all the relevant qualifications to be able to get myself to where I wanted to be. So I think in line with my objectives when I was young, I did think that one day I would be running an organization.
Right. So how did it eventually come to MIC?
So I started on the MIC as a non-executive director, actually. And
how long ago?
Sure, this was about 2008.
Right.
And 2 years later, they asked me if, when Paul was about to retire, the previous CEO, they asked me if I would be interested in the job.
Nice.
But I still went through the process, interviews.
Excited?
Very excited.
At the time, must have been, because, it's...
daunting too.
Right. Now, MIC has done exceptionally well, the investments. I know when they started out, I think they're 3 million rand. Not much you can do. For 3 million rand, you can barely buy a house today. How did you go about building this up, Mary?
I think it was pure. It's a combination of all sorts, being able to take advantage of opportunities that came along, especially in the regulatory space. So wherever there was opportunities to go in that required BEE for licenses, that's the space that the MIC went into in the earlier days. So through Prime Media, the radio stations, gambling licenses, but the Vodacom license when it came out as well. Initially, we had a put option there, and so you with that small money, you just saw how you buy and sell. And I think along the 20 years, it's also been about being able to build up your balance sheet, selling and buying some assets, but also with the vision that we have as long-term investors, we've also kept a core part of our portfolio as a long-term investment. So we've got investments in our portfolio that are almost 20 years old. And, looking at the profile of those investments in terms of growth and cash generation ability, that has helped us to be able to grow our balance sheet.
What formative experiences in your past paved your way for the position?
I was mainly a finance person. So the core of what I know is finance. And so previous to the MIC, all my experience was in the finance industry plus in the mining industry. I spent quite a few years in the mining industry. But so that experience of being able to understand financials, understand building models, growth, was the core thing of I think that what helped me to build my career. But over and above that, it was through the MBA studies that I knew that it was not just about the financial aspect of a business, but about a broader side of running a business that you should know about. And lastly, one of my jobs that I had at, can I mention the company?
Absolutely.
I worked for De Beers, and I had the privilege of working in the MD's office at the time, and being able to observe how an MD runs a business. A lot of the things that I'm able to implement today are things that I actually learned by observation as well.
Speaking to Mary Bomela, Mineworkers Investment Company. Is this company or corporation?
company.
It is company. I always must call it by calling it corporation. I mean, Prime Media was one of the essential listings, and it's been one of the big winners. From you talking about 94.7 and 702, being one of the strategic assets that you have.
Mm-hmm.
You happy with it?
Yes, we're very happy with that.
Are you going to relist it?
Not in the short term.
No, it's you and Bright, isn't it, really, who have quite a big holding there?
It's us and Bright, and we've got Old Mutual in there as well with
Right.
RMB Ventures. Yeah, no, RMB actually, not
right.
Ventures. Yeah.
You're looking to expand Prime Media?
Yes, I mean, business is about growth. So you're forever looking for opportunities
Right.
of growth. In South Africa, we do have a constraint around the number of licenses that you can hold.
Yes.
And for that reason, you have to look beyond your borders in terms of where the expansion would be. And Prime Media is not just the radio stations. You do have the
outdoor sector,
the outdoor business as well, and you also
digital.
have digital, and you also have the stake Kineko in that stable as well.
Yeah.
So every business has to be about growth. So
Yeah.
expansion is important to Prime Media. Yeah.
Now, I mean, you guys are the perhaps role model for union investment companies. What are you doing differently, and what is your message to other investment corporations to be a success like you?
I think don't mix politics with business.
Nice one, yeah.
The structure that we do have is, we've got a union, which is the NUM, you've got the MIT,
Yes.
which is the trust, and you've got the MIC. The trust owns the MIC, and the MIC is run independently from the union. The funds that the MIC makes goes towards the social projects that we do through the MIT. None of that money goes directly to union business, and it's important to be able to separate, and there's a very clear segregation of duties, authority lines, and that makes the business successful, because you don't then mix business with pleasure. We've got a very clear investment criteria and strategy that we follow as an investment company, and we run the business as such. So it's not about emotional investing or investing for political reasons or any other reason. It's about making sure that it makes commercial sense and you are able to meet your objectives at the end of the day.
Now, what I would like to know from you, it's also difficult for some of the unions to strike in companies that you have invested in. I mean, has that ever happened?
Sorry, say that again, John.
Okay.
Steve.
So let's say you have a strategic interest in a certain company.
Yeah.
The union would think twice about striking at that company, wouldn't they?
No, but
If it was a mining company, let's say.
But hence, we don't invest in the mining industry.
Right,
so
right.
our mandate precludes us from investing
Yes.
in the areas in which the NUM organizes for exactly
I
that
see.
reason, to make sure that there's never conflict between the shareholder and the workers. We always say it would have not been a good thing if Marikana had happened and we were sitting in the Lonmin boardroom.
What makes you such a dynamic woman? What are your assets? I mean, you have a lovely personality. Is it hard work?
It's hard work, but I think being very clear about what is it that you want to achieve in life. I'm not very apologetic about where I am today, neither about not being, it's not an ego thing. It's about making sure that what I do it at my best abilities. But I also surround myself with the best teams. At the MIC, I've got a great team that works with me.
Yeah.
And in that way, I make sure that they are very clear in terms of what the objectives are that we need to achieve. And being dynamic is about being able to work with people, being able to develop relationships, and also working through people.
We don't talk about private lives, but what do you do to relax? What does Mary do when she finishes that 18-hour day?
Sleep a lot. But I also I've got 3 children.
Right.
That I spend a lot of time with. So I try and devote a lot of my extra time to my family.
Sure.
And so I don't have a lot of time for anything else outside that. I do read a lot, but socially, I don't do serious intellectual reading. I actually do reading to relax and puzzles and Sudoku, but not big on television or that kind of thing. But family time is important to me.
The Mine Workers Investment Company, is sitting with what? Assets of 5 billion now?
True.
I
Just
mean, that is something
a little
really
bit over that, yeah.
really to be proud of.
Yeah. No, we're very proud about the achievement that the MIC has achieved over the 20 years.
Yes.
I think it's also just as a testament to the founders of the MIC in terms of how we were structured. But over and above that, the fact that we've built a very strong institution with, if you look at the history of the MIC, we're now 21 years old. We've only had 3 CEOs. And even the way the handover was done between myself and Paul, we had a handover of a year, making sure that there is continuity between, the different CEOs that take over the business.
Paul Nkunya, he was quite a guy, and he leaves quite a big legacy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he left very big shoes for me
Yes.
to fill, but
Sure.
I just decided to fill my own stilettos.
How long have you been there now, Mary?
5 years.
5 years is quite a long time. And how long do you plan to be there?
Well, Stevie, I enjoy my job. I think I'm very fortunate in that I'm one of the few people, I think, I hear a lot of people complaining, who wake up every morning being very energized about getting to work.
Yeah.
So I love what I do. I love what we stand for in terms of, where our profits are being applied. So for as long as the business will have me, I will be there.
Excellent. A lady who's really done remarkably well in a great organization as well, Mary Bomela, Mine Workers Investment Company CEO. We put you in the category of entrepreneur on the move, and I think it suits you really, really well. We wish you good luck, Mary.
Thank you very
And
much.
maybe in a year or two, we will certainly interview you again and find out exactly where your progress has been. Or maybe you've been fired by then, but we'll have to find out in a year's time.
Let's do that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks so much. A worthy guest today, Mary Bomela.